Greetings, I'm Joey,
And I'm Ryan.
and today we'll be making chicken sauté and peanut sauce, an original Thai recipe. Now let's get to it. Alright, so this is our knife we'll be using to chop the cilantro. These are our two cutting boards, one for the chicken, one for the cilantro. This is our spoon we'll be using to stir the peanut sauce. These are the tongs we'll be using to flip the chicken. These are our tablespoons and teaspoons to measure out our small dry ingredients. This is our whisk to mix the stuff in the big mixing bowl. This is our pounder to pound the chicken and the palm sugar. And these are our liquid measuring cups to measure out our coconut milk, and then our peanut butter will also go in here later. And then this is our broiling pan, and this is where we'll set the chicken. And this is our saucepan that we'll be using for the peanut sauce, and then this is the large mixing bowl for the just the marinade. So let's get to it.
Fantastic.
First, we have to wash our hands, and by that we mean warm water, soap, and scrubbing thoroughly for roughly a minute.
Sometimes it helps if you say the ABCs.
Alright, so after washing and drying your hands, we need to first off soak the skewers. The reason for this is so they don't burn upon cooking. So we're going to take about 8 skewers and soak them in this water while we get everything ready.
Our next step is to chop the cilantro so it's fairly chopped. Chop it up really good.
So our recipe calls for palm sugar, which is pretty hard to find, so you can use brown sugar as an alternative if you don't have palm sugar, but what we need to do with the palm sugar is break it up so it's easier to dissolve, because if you don't do this, it won't dissolve and the recipe won't work. So we need to get it pounded finely so it will dissolve into the recipe. Now that we've crushed the palm sugar, we have our ingredients laid out, which is half a cup of soy sauce, half a cup of coconut milk, a tablespoon of yellow curry powder, 3 tablespoons of the chopped palm sugar, and the cilantro. So what we're going to do is add all these ingredients and add the dry ones first. So we have the palm sugar, which is the sweet in the recipe, and then the cilantro, which adds flavor, and the yellow curry powder, which adds the spice. And the reason for all these flavors is because in the Thai origin of this recipe, they have the 3 elements, which are spice, sweet, and salt, so it adds a good flavor. So now we're going to add the soy sauce and the coconut milk. And then Ryan here is going to whisk this until it's smooth. And this recipe is a, like I said, a Thai recipe, but chicken sauté is a Asian dominant dish, and it can really be made in different ways. But like I said, the Thai one calls for the 3 elements of flavor. So once this is smooth, we'll get to the cooking. Alright, so now that we made the marinade, we have the chicken here, and we're going to want to get it to even sizes. So by doing that, we're going to take some wax paper. Alright, and we're going to cover the chicken with it, and Ryan's going to pound it until they're about even sizes. Just so it's kind of a smooth, generic size.
Don't want to pound it too hard.
So now that the chicken is evenly sized, we're going to put it in the marinade and let it soak for about 15 minutes. So first of all, we cut this up on a plastic cutting board so that foodborne illnesses aren't a problem, because these are way easier to wash than like a wood cutting board, and the the disease can't get into the wood fibers, so this is way easier to wash. So Ryan's going to scoop this into here, and he's just going to toss it around, and then we're just going to let it sit for 15 minutes. So he's just going to mix it around, and after that we'll let it sit. So after our chicken has marinated in here, and it's about a pound of chicken, we're going to take the sticks that have already been soaked, and this is the handle on this side because it's been soaking so it won't burn, and this side is the side that the chicken will go on. So Ryan will demonstrate how he's gonna put the chicken on the stick.
You're gonna poke it through the middle.
Mm-hmm.
You can weave it in and out too. Also works.
Kind of like sewing, you're just gonna wanna keep weaving so it doesn't fall off while it's cooking. So after that's kind of on there, just set it right here, and then we'll do the rest, and we'll let you know when it's done. Alright, so now that we have the chicken on the sticks, we're gonna put it on the broiling pan, and with this recipe you can either broil or grill it, but we're broiling today because we don't want to go outside because it's hot out. So Ryan's gonna set the aluminum foil in the inside, and I'm gonna put the top on, and the reason for the aluminum foil is because since this is a high sugar recipe, we don't want the runoff sugar to burn, and it calls for really tough cleanup. So on the aluminum foil, you can just toss that out. So we're gonna take the Pam. Don't forget the Pam, and you're gonna spray the top as so, and then you're gonna lay the chicken on like this, and yeah, we'll keep going. All right, so we have all the chicken lined up on the broiling pan, and for safety, wear these really cool oven mitts so you don't burn yourself. So we've had the broiler going, so it's very hot, so we're gonna set it on the high shelf because the heat is more direct up there, and it's right under the light, so it cooks well, and that's what broiling is. Alright, so after 5 to 10 minutes, about, you have to pull them out of the oven, or because you're broiling them, and you're just gonna want to set them on something, so because you don't want them directly on the counter, so it doesn't hurt the counter. And we're just gonna flip them here, so we'll use our tongs right here, and we're going to just flip them gently. And one thing that we should have done better, but we really didn't, was let the sticks soak for longer, because they did kind of burn. But that's really okay because the sticks don't really, because the insides are fine, but you just really, if you just cut it off, it's still fine. So as you can see, the stick is kind of burnt, but like I said, that's okay. So after we finish flipping them, we'll put them back in the oven for about 5 to 10 minutes, and they should be done. Alright, so after about another 5 minutes, we're going to pull the broiling pan out, set it on our hot plates, and we're going to move them onto our serving plate. And after that, we'll get to the peanut sauce. Alright, so now we're going to go to the peanut sauce, and the peanut sauce is like a Thai-oriented thing, and it adds good flavor to the chicken. So first we're going to start out with our red curry paste, and this amount really varies because each bottle, or whatever you want to call it, of this paste, like the spice content changes, so you're going to want to start out with small amounts, and if you need to, you can add more. So that's the 1 tablespoon right there. And then we're going to add some sriracha, and people in America call it sriracha, but the sriracha sauce is actually based off of a town in Thailand called Sriracha, so that's like the actual name. So we're going to do just a squirt of that, and then we're going to add the peanut butter to the 2 cups of coconut milk. And the method we're using here is we're just going to keep adding it until the 2 cups of coconut milk goes up to 3 cups, so then it's not such a struggle to add the peanut butter and coconut milk. So Ryan's just going to keep adding this peanut butter until it gets to about 3 cups, then we can just add it all together. So now that we have all our ingredients in this bowl, we're going to put it on low heat, and this calls for a lot of stirring constantly because we don't want the milk to scorch to the bottom. So we're just going to keep going because if we don't go fast enough, it will burn and then it will ruin the sauce. So we're just going to go at a constant speed and just keep going until it's smooth. Alright, so now that the sauce is a smooth consistency, we're going to pour it into our display bowl. And we're finished. So we have our pieces of chicken and the peanut sauce, and it's ready for eating.